the Mood for Love is widely considered to be one of the greatest films of all time, not just for its cinematography, but for its costuming as well. Its director, Wong Kar-wai, actually described it as a fashion show, and this chart shows why. So this is a chart of every qipao that the lead actress Maggie Cheung wore in the film. The x-axis shows the runtime, and the y-axis shows which qipao that she wore in order of appearance. So as we go right and up, we see qipao that are introduced later in the film. So the basic information in this chart is how many qipao there were and how long each of them was on screen for. But if we go a level deeper, we can actually see the rhythm of the film and how Wong Kar-wai uses costuming to tell the story. So for some context, this film is set in 1960s Hong Kong, and it tells the story of two neighbors, a Mrs. Su and a Mr. Zhou. They're both married, and one day they find out that their spouses have been cheating on them with each other. And the film follows the relationship between the two as they deal with the aftermath. And we can actually see how the story is told by looking at Maggie's wardrobe throughout the film. The first 10 qipao are introduced in the first 14 minutes of the film. It's back to back to back, almost like a runway show. We're basically thrown immediately into their daily life. We see where they work, how they eat, and crucially, their relationships with their spouses, their neighbors, and each other. And then it slows down as we're introduced to the core conflict of the film. This is the inciting incident. Both Su and Zhou discover that their spouses have been cheating on them, and they begin to meet regularly to try and understand how the cheating started, in a sort of mutual therapy session. And this continues up until almost exactly the middle of the film. Instead of these relatively short beats, we start to see these long scenes where we really sit with a single look, as their relationship and the tension between them starts to build. And this all leads up to the single longest scene in the entire film, a conversation between the two, which is the prelude to the climax, the big will they won't they of their relationship that we spent the past hour and 15 minutes experiencing with them. So at this point, we've seen 18 different qipao on screen. There are 3 more that I won't show because it gets into spoiler territory, but they roughly form the falling action and resolution of the film. So In the Mood for Love is a great example of the ways that costuming can tell a story. Me personally, I was only really able to understand what was happening in the film by looking at what Maggie was wearing at any given time. And the qipao are one of the biggest impressions that people have of the film. People really love the costuming here. So the next time you're watching or even making a film, even if it isn't as obvious as In the Mood for Love, consider what the characters are wearing and what that says about them and the overall story.